Our planning company's office is in the heart of a bustling metropolitan city, filled with the buzz of activity that matches the rhythm of my busy days. As I settle at my desk, adorned with samples of leather embroidered with intricate designs, a testament to my unique skill in our corporate sales department, I feel a sense of pride. I am not just a sales associate. I am a creator, bringing an artistic touch to our projects that clients adore. Hi, my name is Nancy, and I am 28 years old. My morning starts with an enthusiastic greeting from Julia, who is 35 years old and the section manager. She has always supported me, recognizing the flair I bring to our work. Morning, Nancy. Ready for another day of impressing clients with your magic? She asks with a twinkle in her eye. But today isn't just another day. Today marks the arrival of Mr. Frank, who is 40 years old and our new head of department. I've heard he values traditional academic credentials above all else, which unsettles me slightly as my degree isn't particularly prestigious. Still, I'm hopeful. After all, my work speaks for itself, or so I believe. My husband Charles, who is 35 years old, always tells me to stand tall and let my work do the talking. He's an engineer, practical and grounded, providing the calm to my sometimes stormy creativity. Our daughter, Doris, who is just 6 years old, often plays beneath my desk as I sketch new designs, her laughter a sweet melody that brightens the office. As the day unfolds, Mr. Frank makes his rounds, his eyes scanning the office with an unreadable expression. When he stops at my desk, my heart skips a beat. I smile, ready to introduce him to my world of leather embroidery. However, the reception I receive is not what I expect. His gaze hardly lingers on the embroidery samples that I begin to showcase. Nancy, while your craft is quaint, we need to focus on more academically driven strategies, he states flatly, the word quaint hanging between us like a harsh winter chill. The subtle dismissal of my craft, my passion, stings sharply. As he walks away, I'm left with a sinking feeling. The vibrant threads of my morning slowly unravel, and I wonder what this change in leadership means for my future here. The days following Mr. Frank's arrival spiral in a way I hadn't anticipated. His presence is like a cold draft that seeps through the office, chilling the warm camaraderie we once took for granted. Each meeting, each review, seems to tighten the noose around the creative spirit I had nurtured here. It isn't long before my worst fears start to materialize. Mr. Frank, who had barely taken a week to assess our operations, calls me into his stark, meticulously organized office. Nancy, he begins, his tone devoid of the warmth I'm accustomed to with Julia. I've been reviewing your performance and the relevance of your skills to our core business goals. While your artistic endeavors are unique, they don't align with the direction we're taking. I'm afraid we need to let you go. His words strike like a blow. I'm rendered speechless, my mind racing. Let go? But my clients have only praised my work. How could it suddenly be irrelevant? I muster the courage to respond, my voice steadier than I feel. Mr. Frank, my work has consistently drawn clients who appreciate the uniqueness we offer. Isn't that valuable? He shakes his head, a decision clearly already made. It's about more than just drawing in a few clients, Nancy. It's about scalable academic strategies that align with industry standards, not individual craftsmanship. As I leave his office, the finality of the situation sinks in. I pack up my belongings, a few personal items, and the embroidery samples that no longer have a place here. Walking out of the building, I feel a mix of indignation and loss. The threads of my career, once woven so tightly into the fabric of this company, now lay loose and disconnected. At home, Charles tries to console me, his words a balm to my bruised spirit. You're more than this job, Nancy. Maybe it's a sign to find somewhere that truly values what you bring to the table. His support is unwavering, but the uncertainty of what comes next is daunting. As night falls, Doris tugs at my sleeve, her small face upturned. Mummy, can we do some stitching? She asks, her innocent request piercing through the fog of my worries. As we sit together, threading needle through leather, I find a quiet peace in the rhythmic motion. Here, in the simplicity of passing threads through fabric with Doris, I find a sanctuary from the storm that my professional life has become. Little do I know, The office I left behind is beginning to feel the absence of the very skills they deemed unnecessary. In the weeks following my dismissal, the structure of my days shifts dramatically. The rhythm of corporate life, once dictated by meetings and client calls, gives way to a quieter, more reflective pace. My home, once a place to unwind after long days at the office, becomes my sanctuary and my workspace. As I navigate this new reality, I find unexpected joy in the hours spent with Doris. She becomes my eager apprentice in the art of embroidery, her small fingers fumbling with the needle, her brow furrowed in concentration. "Like this, Mommy?" she asks, looking up at me with hopeful eyes. "Yes, just like that," I encourage her, guiding her hand as we push the needle through the tough leather. These moments, filled with the gentle guidance of her eager attempts, stitch together the tattered remnants of my professional pride. Meanwhile, the repercussions of my absence ripple through the company I once called my second home. Julia, who had been a pillar of support, calls me one afternoon, her voice laced with concern. "Nancy, it's chaos here. Clients are complaining about the lack of creativity in their projects. We really miss your touch." Her words offer a bittersweet solace. I am missed, not just personally, but professionally. My skills, once overlooked, now recognized as essential in my absence. Yet, despite the validation, a part of me dreads the thought of returning to a place where I was so undervalued. Charles notices the mixed emotions playing across my face. "You don't have to go back," he says one evening as we sit on the porch, watching Doris play in the fading light. "Maybe it's time to start something of your own. You have the skills, the passion. You can build something great." His belief in me kindles a spark of ambition I hadn't allowed myself to feel in weeks. What if I could turn this setback into a stepping stone? What if I could create a space where creativity is not just accepted but celebrated? Fueled by this newfound resolve, I start to plan. I reach out to contacts, draft business proposals, and sketch new designs. Each stitch in my embroidery not only brings a design to life, but also sows the seeds of a future I had never dared to imagine. As autumn turns to winter, I watch Doris proudly finish her first piece, a simple but beautifully imperfect coaster. It's a tangible testament to her growth and my own. In teaching her, I reaffirm my own expertise and worth, weaving a new beginning from the unraveled ends of my old career. The office I once filled with vibrant thread struggles to maintain its luster. My former colleagues, led by the always efficient Julia, face mounting pressures as client discontent grows. The unique designs and personal touches that were my signature are sorely missed. One morning, as I sit at my new, makeshift workspace at home, surrounded by sketches and leather pieces, my phone rings. It's Julia, her voice more strained than usual. "Nancy, it's getting worse here. Since you left, there's been a noticeable dip in client satisfaction. We're at risk of losing key accounts." Her words, though distressing, aren't surprising. I had long known that my role, though undervalued by Mr. Frank, was crucial to the department's success. "I'm sorry to hear that, Julia," I reply, my mind racing with the implications. "Is there anything specific they're missing?" "It's your touch, Nancy," Julia confesses. "Your creativity isn't just missed, it's demanded by our clients. They want what you brought to their projects." This confirmation of my value within the company feels like a vindication of my skills, but also a call to action. As Julia and I continue to talk, a plan begins to form. Perhaps there's a way to bridge my new ambitions with the needs of my old team. After the call, I discuss the situation with Charles. His steady belief in my capabilities fortifies my resolve. "Maybe there's a way to collaborate on your terms," he suggests, always the voice of pragmatic support. Emboldened, I reach out to Mr. Frank, proposing a freelance consultancy role where I could provide creative input without stepping back into the full-time corporate chaos. The offer, carefully crafted to highlight the mutual benefits, feels like a stitch in time, mending the rift between my old world and my new aspirations. Days pass in a blur of activity. Between drafting proposals and guiding Doris's small hands through her next embroidery project, I wait anxiously for a response. Finally, it comes. Mr. Frank agrees to a meeting to discuss the details. As I prepare for the meeting, I am not the same person who was dismissed months ago. I am a businesswoman, an artist, and a mentor. I am ready to negotiate on my terms, to weave my skills into a new pattern of collaboration that respects my contributions and boundaries. The upcoming meeting isn't just a potential business opportunity, it's a test of my newfound strength and a chance to redefine my professional identity on my own terms. The morning of the meeting, the city is cloaked in a dense fog that seems to mirror the uncertainty I feel inside. As I step back into the office building, a place that was once a second home but now feels strangely foreign, my resolve steadies. Today, I am not just defending my worth, I am negotiating the future on my terms. Mr. Frank greets me with a politeness that's tinged with desperation. The office beyond his door buzzes with the familiar sounds of stress and urgency, a stark contrast to the calm order of his personal space. "Nancy, thank you for coming," he begins, motioning for me to take a seat. "We've felt your absence significantly. Your proposal suggests a potential solution. Let's discuss how this could work." I nod, organizing my thoughts. My idea is simple. I can offer my creative services on a consultancy basis. This arrangement would allow me to contribute to projects that benefit from my expertise without the need for me to be here full-time. Mr. Frank listens, his expression unreadable. And in terms of compensation, he probes, leaning forward slightly. "I'm looking for fair remuneration based on the projects I contribute to, reflecting the value I bring," I answer confidently. The negotiation feels like a delicate dance, each of us cautious yet eager to find common ground. After a lengthy discussion, where we outline expectations and logistics, Mr. Frank extends his hand. "It seems we have a deal, Nancy. Welcome back in this new capacity." Leaving the meeting, I feel a weight lift off my shoulders. The agreement we've reached is a testament to my journey, not just a return, but a reinvention of my professional role. As I walk through the office, a few former colleagues stop to express their relief and happiness at my return, even if in a different capacity. This new role as a consultant offers me the balance I sought between my professional expertise and personal life. It's a chance to showcase my skills while shaping my involvement to fit the life I envision. Back home, Doris rushes to greet me, her latest embroidery project in hand. "Look, Mommy, I'm almost done with this one," she beams, showing off her increasingly steady stitches. "Just like us, sweetie," I say, hugging her close. Always creating something beautiful, no matter how tough it gets.